Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm making something simple but very special. This is the final piece, a handmade cup made from cherry wood with a stainless steel insert inside. It's designed for coffee, tea and any hot drink you enjoy slowly. Warm natural wood on the outside, clean steel on the inside, all crafted completely by hand. No mass production and no shortcuts. In this video, I'll show you the entire process from a raw block of cherry wood to this finished cup. Let's start from the beginning. I started with a solid block of cherry wood and shaped it into a rough cylinder. This will later hold a stainless steel insert, so getting the basic form right is important from the very beginning. Once the blank was round, I flattened the top to create a clean reference surface. On the bottom side, I cut a tenon that I'll later use to securely hold the piece with the lathe jaws. This step is all about stability. A solid grip means cleaner cuts, better control, and a safer turning process as the shape begins to take form. Once the basic shape was ready, I moved on to drilling the opening where the stainless steel insert would later be placed. For this step, precision is everything, because the hole needs to be perfectly centered and clean for a tight, secure fit. I used a 55mm Forstner bit to slowly drill into the cherry wood, keeping steady pressure and controlled speed. This creates smooth walls and a flat bottom, which is exactly what's needed for the insert to sit properly inside the cup. At this point, I marked the exact size of the stainless steel insert, so I could control how wide the opening needed to be. This gives me a clear reference and helps avoid removing too much material too quickly. I then used an angled scraper to carefully widen the hole, working slowly and checking the fit as I went. Once the diameter was close, I switched to a flat scraper to open up the inner walls and clean the bottom of the cup. This creates a smooth, even interior and prepares the space for the insert to sit perfectly in place. This is one of those moments where the process slows down a bit, so let me ask you something. Do you prefer cups made purely from wood, or do you like the combination of wood and steel like this one? For me, this mix makes the cup more practical for everyday use, while still keeping the warmth and character of natural cherry wood. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm always curious to hear your opinions. Now that the basic opening is done, it's time to fine-tune it for the insert. I test fit the stainless steel insert again and again, removing just a little material each time. This part takes patience, but it's the only way to get a truly perfect fit between the wood and the steel. No gaps, no looseness, just a clean, tight connection that feels solid and precise. While I'm working on these final adjustments, this feels like a good moment to slow things down and talk with you for a bit. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. My wife and I are behind Pipea Wood, a small handmade woodworking studio where we create unique wooden pieces entirely by hand. Everything you see in our videos is made in our own workshop, from the first cut of wood to the final finish. Over the years, we've created many different products, from wooden bowls and cups to fountain pens, serving boards, and decorative pieces. Each item starts as a raw piece of wood and slowly turns into something functional and beautiful, just like this cherry wood cup you're watching right now. Recently, we updated our website to make it much easier to explore all of our creations in one place. You can now browse through different collections, see detailed close-up photos, read full descriptions, and check exact dimensions for every product. This makes it simpler to find something that fits your style or to choose a special handmade gift for someone. One thing that's very important to us is that every piece is truly one of a kind. Because of the natural grain and color of the wood, no two products will ever look the same. When a piece is sold, it usually won't be repeated in exactly the same way again. That's what makes handmade work so special compared to factory-made items. If you enjoy watching the making process and would like to support our work, you can visit our website anytime at pipeawood.com. There you'll find this cherry wood cup along with many other handmade wooden products that are ready to ship worldwide. We also regularly add new creations, so the collection keeps growing and changing over time. And if you ever have questions about the process, the materials we use, or custom orders, feel free to leave a comment under the video. I read every message, and I always enjoy chatting with you about woodworking and handmade crafts. Your support, whether through watching, commenting, or sharing the videos, truly helps us keep creating and improving. So thank you for being part of this journey. Now I move on to shaping the final exterior of the cup. For this part, I mainly use a skew chisel because it allows me to achieve a very clean, smooth finish directly on the lathe without tearing the wood fibers. Cherry wood responds beautifully to this tool, and with the right angle and pressure, the surface already feels almost finished straight away. I focus on creating soft, flowing curves that feel natural in the hand and give the cup an elegant, balanced look. Near the rim, I switch to a spindle gouge to carefully refine the shape. This area is especially important because I want the edge to be perfectly smooth, with no sharp transitions at all. The goal is simple: when you bring the cup to your lips, nothing should distract you. It should feel comfortable, natural, and pleasant to use. With the main shape finished, I now refine the bottom part of the cup and bring all the curves together into one smooth flowing form. Once everything feels balanced and clean, I move on to sanding. Sanding is where the surface truly transforms from freshly cut wood into something soft and pleasant to the touch. I gradually work through the grits, removing any remaining tool marks and smoothing the cherry wood step by step. For this cup, I sand up to 400 grit. This gives the wood a silky smooth feel while still keeping a natural look without creating a high gloss plastic finish. The goal is a soft, elegant surface that feels warm and natural in the hand, and that's ready for a protective finish. Because this cup is meant for everyday use, it needs especially good protection. For the main finish, I use a high-quality UV hardwax oil from Vesting. This coating has been on the market for some time and is known for its durability and professional-grade protection. It hardens under ultraviolet light and becomes dry within seconds. All it takes is shining a UV lamp over the surface, and the finish is instantly cured and ready to be worked on again. This makes it possible to build strong protective layers while keeping the natural feel of the cherry wood. To make sure the cup is really well protected, I apply 2 coats in total. Between each layer, I lightly sand the surface up to 1000 grit to keep everything perfectly smooth and refined. As a final step, I use our own wood finishing cream, which also contains carnauba wax. This gives the cup its soft, silky sheen and a pleasant, natural touch, exactly the look and feel I'm aiming for. With the main shape finished, it's time to focus on the bottom of the cup as well. I turn the cup around and mount it back onto the lathe using the jaws. Here I need to be especially careful not to leave any marks on the stainless steel insert. To protect the metal surface, I wrap the jaws with electrical tape. This simple trick prevents the jaws from leaving their typical marks while still holding the cup securely in place. With everything protected and stable, I can continue shaping and refining the base of the cup. With the cup now firmly secured in the jaws, I can finally focus on shaping the bottom. This is the last part of the turning process, but it's just as important as everything that came before. The base needs to be clean, balanced, and comfortable to hold, while still keeping the cup stable when it stands on a table. I start by carefully removing the tenon using a detailed spindle gouge, slowly blending the base into the rest of the shape. Small, controlled cuts help keep everything smooth and precise without tearing the wood. Once the tenon is completely gone and the form feels right, I move on to sanding. I gradually smooth the bottom of the cup up to 400 grit, making sure it matches the silky finish of the rest of the surface. This step brings all the curves together and gives the cup a refined, finished look from every angle. After sanding, I drill a 40 mm recess in the center of the base and place our logo directly into it. This adds a subtle handmade signature to the piece while keeping the bottom clean and elegant. It's a small detail, but it completes the cup and makes every piece clearly identifiable as a Paipeia wood creation. To finish the cup completely, I apply the same protection to the bottom as well. First, I use the UV hard wax oil from Vesting, making sure the entire surface is evenly coated and properly sealed. After curing it under UV light, the finish becomes instantly hard and durable. As a final step, I apply our own wood finishing cream, which contains carnauba wax. This gives the cup that soft, silky sheen and a warm, natural feel in the hand. And with that, the cherry wood cup is finished. Thank you so much for watching and supporting our handmade work. If you enjoyed this build, please consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and sharing it with someone who appreciates craftsmanship. You can find this cherry wood cup and many other handmade wooden pieces on our website at paipeiawood.com. Your support truly helps us continue creating and sharing these projects with you. See you in the next build.